A few news stories to take a look at, and a twist on a summer celebration. Welcome back to the home stretch for episode 2 of 2016. I'm your host, Joe Olmo. Now, if you're like me, you don't mind playing 18 holes of golf here and there. But if you're also like me, your game isn't very good. But for more than a dozen local golfers, getting a chance to compete in the biggest tournament in the country is just a couple rounds away. We take a look as Naperville Country Club hosts one of this year's U.S. Amateur Qualifiers. Having my name etched on this trophy with the great Bob Jones, as well as Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, all those guys. It's incredible. I can't even imagine what I just did. Bryson DeChambeau. As the 2015 U.S. Amateur Champion, DeChambeau lived out a dream, putting his name alongside some of the greats in the game of golf. This year's tournament is just around the corner. Hundreds of amateur golfers will try to duplicate DeChambeau's efforts. But not just any amateur or club member can take their swings in one of the most prestigious tournaments in the game. Players must have a 2.4 handicap or lower. As a professional golfer, Brian Brown has been through the grind.
If you're getting to that U.S. amateur level, you're competing with the best of the best at that point. And if you're able to make the cut and make the match play portion of it, you're one of the top 64 AMs in the United States. I think that says a lot, and you have, hopefully brighten your eye, open your eyes a little bit and say, maybe I do have potential to compete at the big stages. So I think it's a big step.
In 1894, representatives from 5 different golf clubs created the United States Golf Association. That following October, the first U.S. Amateur Championship was held. 27 years later, Naperville Country Club opened. As the tournament and interest in golf has grown, qualifying rounds have been included to the format. Naperville Country Club was selected to host one of this year's U.S. Amateur qualifying tournaments. General Manager Tim Anderson is proud to have the qualifier back in Naperville as part of the club's 95th anniversary.
It's kind of interesting, back in 1999 when the club last hosted this event, David Gossett, who was the champion of the event here, he went on to win the U.S. Amateur at Pebble Beach.
So you got some history on this.
Yeah, a little bit of history. Maybe there's some good luck that someone can play off of. Yeah.
He shot even par for the 36-hole total. I talked to the players this week when they're having their practice rounds, and they think double digits under par will win it. So that just gives you an idea of how golf has changed on the amateur level over the last 16, 17 years. It's pretty remarkable how far it's grown in that level.
Club takes its presence in the community very seriously, and it wants to be, a piece of the community and a building block within the community. And bringing these types of events to the club is great for everyone.
With the qualifier back in the neighborhood, more than a dozen local golfers are trying their luck at this year's event. Members of Neuqua Valley's third-place state team last fall also taking a swing at moving on. Brian Stogsdill is the only one of the 3 Wildcats playing in this tournament that's returning to high school.
It's a different age group than I normally play with, so it's a completely different field, but I try to approach it the same, and it's a lot more fun playing a completely, almost like a higher field set, yeah.
You can see they're a little maybe more nervous than some of the other guys that are more seasoned, but it's a big stage for them too, and it's all about learning in golf. You get comfortable in an environment and you try to step up and get out of that comfort zone and try to compete at that level. It's a big step.
But the course isn't new to these players, with NCC hosting the Vern McGonigal High School Tournament each year for the girls and boys. What is different is the strength of the playing field.
It's eye-opening how many good players there are. You have to have a 2.4 handicap to get in, so you have to be pretty much shooting 74, 75 pretty consistently, so everybody here is good and everybody's got a chance to pretty much qualify, so it's exciting and it's a really good field, so good test of golf.
With so much on the line for these golfers and the mental grind that 36 holes of golf can have on you over 10 hours in one day, it's nice to have a calming influence next to you. Brian Stogsdill has that with his father being his caddy.
To be able to have such a beautiful day at a course like this and just spend it with your son and see him competing is, I don't know, it's something really special.
It was a great shot there, bud.
Drain it. It'd be a great bird.
Only 3 players move on from this qualifier. Unfortunately, none of them were from the Naperville area. But with the high school season getting started again soon, Brian's father is confident in his son's abilities going forward.
He's got the game that can compete on at this level, but he's also got some things he's got to work on as well. And I think it's good to be able to gain from both of those, to gain confidence that know you belong and know that there's things you can work on to improve.
As the competition gets into the later hours of the day, amateur vets and collegiate standouts like Texas Longhorn and Arlington Heights native Doug Gim showcase their talents on the challenging links.
It was more of my how much I wanted to play in the USAM, because I played the last 2 years, and to not make it this year would be pretty bitter.
Sitting at 52nd in the world, 2 spots out from automatically qualifying for the U.S. Amateur, Gim secured his spot in his 3rd consecutive Open with a birdie on the final hole.
And USAM is the biggest tournament in the world for at least us Americans, and there's so much on the line. There's so many benefits from winning it, and to win your national championship is great. So yeah, of course I would love to make it a habit.
With the winning score at -5, Brian Brown says the course was able to protect itself from even lower scores, something that he believes will help bring more tournaments to Naperville Country Club.
We have 15, 20 members that were here when it started at 7:30 wanting to watch the guys play. So as a club, we're happy to host it. We take whatever we can, going forward. It's a privilege to be a part of it and to be selected to have this event for sure.
In the end, Doug Gim, Charlie Netzel, and Pyrrhic Phelan will compete at this year's U.S. Amateur Open in Michigan, August 15th through the 21st, competing to put their name in the record books alongside some of the best in golf. Reporting for the home stretch from Naperville Country Club, I'm Joe Olmo.